Hi, I'm Vivian. Welcome to my channel. And this is again about the garage. Yesterday was National No House Cleaning Day, which worked out. I didn't do any house cleaning, but I've been doing the garage for the last 3 days. In the middle of that was National No House Cleaning Day. I thought that was kind of funny. So, if you saw the other video, I got more done. I am very ADD. I have to be careful about staying on task, and I got sidetracked with some other stuff, but I kept bringing myself back to this, I got the bandsaw moved over here. I put little pressure treated scrap lumber and raised the that up a little bit so that the wood can come through. I was watching Blake Webster. And his wood shop is small, but he's got it. I really liked a lot of it. I'll put a link to that video in the description. But that tarp isn't enough, but maybe it will reduce the fine dust that's going over onto the other side. I would like to have something clear, but I have that on hand, so I just bungee corded the top and got them just up there. It's 10 by 8. And I made that little partition, and I've got some ideas, but I don't have that also got me a little sidetracked, that it didn't need to be done. And only good is I'm storing some of the furring strips up there instead of on whatever's available. I took apart my son's rack that he was building for his truck. So I called him, and take it, do whatever I want. So I used that and just had to cut down the pieces just a bit to do that. I was thinking about actually doing some 16 inch on center 2x4 in there, and above I like to get a 10-foot long board and maybe even wall that up just for the center part, but that's not a big priority. That's what's left from his stuff, and along with some corner braces. So did that, and I got the hook over there with the extension cord, so I can now plug this up and maybe set up a routering station over here. I just wanted to get rid of the box, so that's going to make me put the other one together. And I got so much room now. I'm just excited. I'm just like, okay, I got all this floor space. I don't have to go out there to work on stuff, but I can if I want to, especially if I'm painting. I want to get some more stuff done. I didn't get to these at all. That's still on my list. I'm finding tools that I didn't, had lost for quite a while. So I'll probably find some more stuff. I got all this cleaned, and over here, I know that doesn't look good. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and, using scrap lumber and some casters, I'm going to make a rolling cart and just combine the two, have it halved. So I'll have all the pressure treated on one thing, so it'll take up less floor space, and I can move it in and out of, wherever I'm working with, so I can just put stuff right there instead of having a designated scrap lumber place. All the pressure treated is on the bottom. So all that's pressure treated stuff. That's not a normal, normally when we get pressure treated lumber, it's used right away. We buy it per project. It's not something that we're normally going to store. That's leftovers from my son's deer blind that he built. And so I was able to use some of the scrap lumber, and that's probably overkill for the 2x4s, but the 2x4s will go on that height, so I'm not having to go bend down as much. And that's just scrap lumber. I just braced it. It's pressure treated. So I cut them 16 inches, and they just go back and screw into the studs of the wall. But this is what really proud of. So I used 4 2x4 strips, I think 6 inches, and I want to show you this. I put the coroplast up there, and I knew it was going to be lightweight, and before I even put it up there, I thought of it needed something like that because the wind will literally blow this off. In fact, but you know, what do you do? Oops. So I've got it done this way, and just using scrap. This is scrap stuff that plywood that I have. And I got this went to the camper, but the coroplast, using a little lip wasn't going to work, but this way I'm able to. It's not perfect, but just using scrap lumber, I was able to do that, and it holds it in there. Again, plywood's not one of those things we're gonna buy, you know, unless someone gifts it to us. These are things that we would buy for a project and get used and out of here. I'm going to redo those, reuse those, repurpose the plywood sheets that's already painted there. But that, I'm really proud of what I came up with. So that got it out of the center of the garage that was pretty much being used like a divider. And now all the shelves got moved. And now my cart is out of the way. It has a place in the garage, and we're not having to go sideways through here. So that opens up all the stuff. A lot of things got put into. We're no longer calling the building up here a greenhouse because we got that other greenhouse my husband just built, the hoop greenhouse. So we're calling it the summer kitchen because that's on the thing this year, to make a summer kitchen in there so I can do canning and not heat up the house. So I moved some things up there. The 2-burner grill went up there. Some of the propane tanks went up there. The dog kennel went up there. Some of the tools. I moved the tools. You see the barrel. I wanted to move all of them in there, but my husband wanted to keep those down here, so that's fine. At least it's out of the center. It's over there. His lawnmower. Probably can't tell, but he converted it to run on propane. The gas lawnmower converted to a propane thing. There's lots of videos on YouTube. He was watching them. He's still working out some kink, but he really likes that. But we also have the electric lawnmower that I got from the auction that he just got a new battery for, and it works. And he enjoys doing that one because it's quiet. He doesn't have to pull out the ear protections and stuff. So that's over there. The two red toolboxes aren't going to stay there. I want to pull them out over here. I want to set one up. Looking through them, one of them's supposed to be mine. I actually used it for crafts, but the one on the back thing. But he also put a lot of plumbing things in there, and then he's got a lot of electrical things. Like that's a electrical box, an exterior one. So I want to get that all done. So he has all of his electrical stuff in one area, and he's got all his plumbing stuff in one area, and all the life jackets and stuff will go with the kayaks. We've got some stuff over here where we had the hangers for the kayaks and bicycles that were in the where we had our carport at our other place, and we got all the hardware over here. So the shipping containers is where they're at now. So we need to make some frames, 2x4 frames inside the shipping containers so that they can be mounted in there. So that'll be gone. There's a little room over there that we believe that the previous owner used for ham radio, CBs. There was he left a lot of that stuff in there. And it's not, it's just stuff piled in there. I started to clean in there, and I said, no, I'm just having to bring stuff out here. I've got another black shelf unit just identical to that, and I can go ahead and build, go along that wall get those moved when I organize the shelves and things over there. But I'm just excited because as bad as this is it's definitely going toward the direction we want with this. I can now put in a thing for a quote. I'm getting some lumber quotes from other places, not Lowe's or Home Depot, to start stocking up and start budgeting for that kind of stuff. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to go through all that, and hopefully I won't. Mama Mouse, I dragged a big trash bag of. It had trash, it had sawdust, it had all sorts of pieces of wood. I hauled it off to the fire pit, and I was just taking the wood out and the burnable stuff and started burning that when I noticed her. And she only had one baby attached, so I don't know what happened to the other 2 or 3 that were with her yesterday. I hope I don't find them accidentally. But somewhere in there, there's no telling what's in there. And while it's cold, I want to do this because snakes, we did find a dead snake in here when we first, when we bought this place. So I want to get this stuff done and have everything easy to access. I've got some bins I can use inside there and on the floor, so we can just pull stuff out instead of having to dig things out because they're pieces. There's a hammock down there. I like to get that used again. I noticed, I don't know if you can see the PVC pipes up the ceiling. They were on the floor. And when I noticed, just looking around, looking at all the different things that he has these are all things done by the previous owner. He has it's written on their sawhorse template, string holder. I guess it was running strings for stuff. He's got these other cutout pieces. I don't know what had been in there. And then that is probably where he stored 2x4s. I don't know. It doesn't look 4 foot. It could be 4 foot wide. So I thought, oh, maybe the pipe can go up there, and I managed to get one on there, and the other one I need to get the ladder. But I thought, okay, just getting distracted again. So I'm really excited. I'm going to try to get everything. These are all stuff that the previous owner had left. I don't know what they are. I don't know. I really hadn't looked at it. But I want to make it to label everything, and that's on the list. So I guess before I get the next load of 2x4s and start working back on the chicken coop, I'm going to be doing all this stuff. I'm really excited. I feel very blessed that I have this space to do it, and I feel very chagrined, a little disappointed in myself that I've allowed it to go to this, this long a time before I came in here and actually did any of this stuff. And I'm just really excited that we're at this point. I need to learn how to use the bandsaw. I need to get the routing table set up and get that going. And just having a place to put all the lumber. I'm really excited. That I can't think of anything else. And I've been neglecting my birds. I don't know if you can hear them. I gotta go take care of them. It's dusk. I get the whole OCD and ADD thing. I get hyper focused on something, and I can't stop thinking about it and all these ideas. And then a lot of times there's also a component of not being able to decide what to do because there's so many options. If you have only one option, that's no decision making process. It's easy to, that's what you do. So now that there's room in here, a lot of at least the main tools have a place. Working on the other stuff, the smaller items, and making it easier to access. I know what was in that mess for the most part, and we've got a bunch of rolling stainless steel wire shelving, the big units. I had them in previous videos. They're in the building at our other property, so I need to get those. So that's a lot of stuff. I'll be busy, but what do you think? Some feedback? Is that overkill? I used, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I think I had it, almost had an accident. Could have been bad. And I'll tell you what exactly happened, but just cutting the 45-degree angles on the braces there. This is pressure treated lumber. I think they're 16 inches. These were already, actually, these pressure, the 2x4s, the horizontal pieces were already cut. So I didn't even, I just matched them to make sure that there were, this pair was slightly longer than the other pair. Not a big deal. I didn't bother with cutting off that little bit to make them both even, both, all four even. I figured out how to do the 45-degree angle. That was one board that I cut in half and then cut the ends off of at a 45-degree angle. And I've got 3 screws on this side and 3 screws on that side, and then 2 screws there, and then 2 screws at the bottom going into the stud, and then 2 screws on both sides at this point too, on both of them. That should be, weight-wise, I think that will hold what I intend. I'm not sure how many 2x4s will fit. Exactly how many. I'm thinking maybe 6 high. No, not 4 or 5 high. So I can probably figure that out. But that bit should not be, what will fit to the top of that, and maybe if we do have extra, it can be on the front of this. But the rest can we can put some on top of the pressure treated, as well as over here. There's a couple of extra pieces, just cleaning up that mess that I had that was leaning up against the wall over there when I cleaned up. So these aren't quite 8, they're 6 feet, a little over 6 feet. So I can store stuff right here. But what happened, when I was cutting the